Full moon in Leo this week. It's time to make room for your heart and your head to come into harmony. Let's pull a card, place a hand on your heart, and ask, what is the most important thing I need to know about this full moon in Leo? And I see who pops up. It's a time of rebirth. One of my most favorite cards because it signifies something is coming to a close and ending, a particular chapter in life, so that a new one can begin. Anytime that we're excited about plans, we set intentions, we make goals, something else in our life has to be shifted. Maybe it's a goal to be healthier. That might mean, we have to wake up a little bit earlier to work out, or we want to meditate more. So we create that time and space and a sacred corner in our room or office. But it's about shifting things, transforming, letting go of things, whether it's old habits or physical items, so that you can truly welcome in the pathway to achieve your goal and your dream. So ask yourself with this full moon, what is in your highest and best interest to let go of so that you can up-level your relationships, up-level your experiences at work, welcome in more prosperity. If we're going around with our hands closed like this all the time because we're trying to hold on to all of the things, if you've ever tried to bring in all the groceries from the car at once, you know what I'm talking about. It's important to say, I have to put down a bag or two so I can open the door. This is that opportunity. So with the full moon, we'll talk a little bit about full moon rituals as we get into this and how you can use a sacred practice to assist you to harness that energy that is right there for the taking. Transformation, all about letting go. So when I look at this report for the week, I really take time to track the moon, because the moon is a way that we tune into our daily emotions, our feelings. It's a way that we can tap into our intuition. And because I hadn't found anything out there to help me track the moon in a way that made sense, that could incorporate the sacred rituals, because it's one thing to know, okay, it's a full moon or a new moon, or maybe someone even tells you, the moon's in Gemini. But what does all of that mean? And what does that mean for you? Because it's going to mean a little something different for each person. So I made the Inside of the Moon journal, and there is a shipment coming in. So if you have ordered it, it's going to be arriving, hopefully in the next couple of weeks or a few weeks. Dealing with printers and shipping, it's been interesting. But what that means, because I have to order in small batches, is that I've got a few in this batch that haven't been spoken for. If you'd like it, definitely click on the link around this video so you can get it pretty quickly. All right, Inside of the Moon journal. I love this. Nice hardcover too. That was important to me because this is something that I keep next to me all day long as I work, because I jot down ideas. The meat and potatoes of this, or the tofu and veg, is this little center part, which is keeping track of the daily occurrences. So first thing I invite everybody to do, even if you're just noticing the moon itself, notice, is it a new moon or a full moon? And this week we have a full moon. Even if you were to do that and take a track or take a moment to tune in to say, how do I feel? What's going on for me? Can I sleep? Do I feel anxious? Am I extra tired? Am I curious? Do I feel like my intuition's spot on? You just take note of that. Full moon, this is how I felt. You can start right there on Thursday. For those of you who want to go deeper and who want to harness the energy of the moon, I'm just going to point out the weather of the week. And the moon is going from a waxing gibbous. So we're building up energy, building up power, going towards that full moon experience on Thursday. Full moon in Leo. Hello, shine the light bright. Leos are wonderful. They're bright and they are exuberant and they're entertaining. They bring light and life to the room, most definitely. So full moon on Thursday. And then after that full moon, we move into a waning state. It's a waning gibbous. And what that means for you. And I love to look at the state of the moon first, and then we can get into the signs. But all of this building energy to Thursday, we're building up to something. Full moon is a representation of culmination. Something is coming to a head. Maybe it was a project you were working on. Maybe it's an idea you had about yourself. Because this particular full moon in Leo is really saying it's time to look at the mindset and the thoughts that have been circling through your head. Are they in alignment with the person that you're working towards becoming more fully? Are they in alignment with your hopes and your dreams? Is it really in tune with your heart? So many times people put these perimeters on themselves or goals, maybe because we hear it's a good thing to do, like, take cold showers in the morning and wake up at 4 and run a mile. Who knows? And maybe that's a good thing for you, but check in with your heart and say, am I just imposing this upon myself because somebody said this was a good idea? Or am I tuning into what my heart really needs and would benefit most from this situation? And I have a little practice I'll be sharing during the week, a meditation practice that can help with that. But for today, I'm going to give you the tools right now that you can make the most of the week and the full moon. So moon kicks off. Oh, and as I was saying this, I just want to go back. That full moon, as we're coming to the culmination, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday energy, as you're working towards reaching a pinnacle point towards one of your goals. And we can get into moon manifesting and moon mapping. I've got something coming out about that soon. So if you want to know more about moon mapping, then drop a little heart emoji below. I love this, or moon manifesting, drop a little heart emoji below. When you start to tune into the cycles of the moon to help create your reality and your dream, make it come true. This is something I've been working on with many of my one-on-one clients, and I want to share it with more because they've been having great fun and great success with it. But this week, Monday through Wednesday, what you're doing is you're adjusting the details. So you're working towards your goal and you're like, oh, well, I thought I needed to, let's talk health goals, because right now we're at the beginning of the year. Maybe it was, oh, I thought I had to work out X amount or eat this food, calorie count, who knows? And all of a sudden someone says, oh, have you tried like MyFitnessPal or tried this? And then you start to look at the data differently and you think, oh, I need to adjust my actions so I can reach my goal. Maybe it's calling more people, talking with people, connecting, because maybe that goal was to heighten and develop relationships more. I have some clients who are working on renewing and building bonds with family members. So it's reaching out and actively pursuing them. So you're just adjusting your actions as necessary to achieve your goal, whatever it is along the way. It's not the end all be all, but it's a goal. And then once you've achieved that part of the goal, as we move to the last half of the week, Friday through Sunday, you're reflecting what worked, what didn't work, what might I have to let go of? Is there something different that I could do to achieve this more easily or faster or better? Who knows? But it's reflecting at the end of the week. So that's kind of the energy, the tide of the moon. Now, when we get into the personality of the moon, so to speak, how it's showing up that day, if you have kids or even fur babies, some days they might wake up and they might be kind of grumpy, or they might be asking a lot of questions, or maybe they just want to go outside every 2 minutes because they're seeing a squirrel or a bird. It's like, I've got to get work done. Can't keep opening the door. The moon affects us like that. It affects our emotions. So if we pay attention to how the moon is showing up, we can give ourselves a lot of extra, how do I want to say? It's like extra oomph, extra ability to make the most of the day and not beat ourselves up, because some days we just don't have the energy for certain things. And that's okay, because once you learn the patterns of the moon, you say, all right, maybe not today, but Friday. So today, moon is in Gemini. We kick it off in Gemini. It's going to move into Cancer towards the end of the day. Gemini is about curiosity, questions. Let me do a little bit more investigation. Let me look into this. They like to chat, socialize. So at the beginning of the day, if you're having meetings and conversations, you just feel like calling someone instead of texting them. That's all Gemini type energy. So great to do your communicating, your chatting, your writing, your research at the beginning of the day. Because then at the end of Monday and into Tuesday and Wednesday, as the moon is moving into Cancer, what you're going to experience is more emotions. You might feel more emotionally vulnerable or sensitive, take things more to heart. There's more empathic qualities that are highlighted with the moon in Cancer. The moon is very at home in Cancer. And that's why one of the things I have you do here in the journal is to keep track of your mood. So you wake up, the moon's in Gemini, it's a waxing gibbous, I color it in. All of that is to help instill within you that ability to remember. What does it look like? What does it feel like? So we're working on our learning levels on all levels, auditory, visual, getting our hands in it. So you keep track of your mood. My mood, yeah, today I definitely am ready for conversations. I feel chatty. And I know when the moon goes into Cancer from the past, my moon is naturally in Cancer. I'm very sensitive. I can tend to be more emotional. I'm highly intuitive. I'm less likely to want to do administrative type work or organize. When the moon hits Virgo on Sunday, it'll be so much fun because all I'm going to want to do is organize and make systems and be efficient. But the first half of this week, so I know here Monday morning, I'm going to try to get as much done as I can with the business side of things, communicate and email everybody I need to talk with. And then when the moon moves into Cancer on Tuesday and Wednesday, I tune in. How am I feeling? I take note of that. And we've talked about what it might be like in general. I'll also pull a card for that day. What's the most important thing I need to know? Then we get to the full moon in Leo, and that's on Thursday. And as I highlighted briefly, it's going to be about syncing your heart and your head, finding a harmony and a balance between what your head's been thinking and what your heart really is longing for. It's time for some of those old mindsets and attitudes to take a hike. And I'm coughing. That means I'm clearing energy. Holy cannoli. I'm clearing for me, for you, for all of us. Then Saturday, moon still in Leo. A Leo moon is very much about the heart. It's about willpower. It's about your individuality in the sense of, who you are showing up as, what your wants and desires are. And I invite you, again, just take some time to tune in. And a sacred practice that can help with that, that's what I also do at the beginning of the week, is here on the side. My intention this week is to prepare. I've got an event that I'm going to be assisting, a mastermind retreat for one of my clients. I'm going to be there doing energy alchemist work and helping the attendees with their energy. So I know, okay, plan, prep, and connect. I've got a lot of things that I want to set up. So with this full moon, I'm getting everything done in the front end that I can. I'm going to use a clear quartz crystal, and my quartz is over there. So I've got this quartz on my table right now, which has a little bit of hematite in it, which is nice for manifesting. Candle. That's going to be my ritual for this week. Simply lighting a candle. It could be as easy as that. Like that could be it for all this week. And what that does immediately as you light that candle is it tunes you into spirit. It's a beautiful way to connect and call in your connection to your angels and guides, to God universe, and even your higher self. Simply lighting a candle at the beginning of the day. Very, very special. And then the way I'm going to nourish or feed my spirit is I'm going to spend some time in quiet. There's been a lot of noise lately. And when there's a lot of noise and distractions, it's hard to hear your intuition and trust your gut. So I'm definitely being called to that. One thing that I'm also going to pull on from last week that I mentioned was in the journal, you have sacred geometric shapes. This particular one is great for new beginnings and setting goals and intentions. And for me, I colored it. I just made a photocopy and I colored it last week, just with whatever markers were left from my daughter that weren't dried out. And I'm going to sit with this week. And I'm actually going to place my wonderful little quartz crystal in the very center, and I'll light my candle. And that's how I'll spend my time in the quiet. Did you feel that? It's so subtle. But what you're doing is you're changing the energy in a room. And if you think of energy like water, water takes the shape of the container that it's in. And so when you're using sacred geometric shapes, lots of noise, sacred geometric shapes like this, and you're adding in the energy of a crystal, what you're doing is you're changing the container that the energy is being held within so that it is evoking an experience. Now, what's that experience? Well, I can tell you overall, this is about new beginnings. It's about birthing something, new ideas, putting something into that initial dream state and co-creating it into physical reality. It's connecting with your higher self, with source. It's connecting you to your faith and that ability to stay tuned into hope. I've got this. I can do this. I'm not alone with this. I've got friends in high places, my angels and guides, God universe. It's a reminder of all of those things. But until you live it and experience it, what I'm saying might not make much sense. So if you print this out, if you have the journal, if you have the digital journal, some have the digital copy, and you place the crystal on it. All right. So click the link around here if you want to scoop up one of the journals from the next shipment that's coming in. Otherwise, it's such a joy to have this time with you and spend these moments talking about the moon and the sacred practices. And for those who are watching in live time on Monday when this gets released, January 22nd, checking out the date, The doors are still open to my Mastering Intuition program, which takes these practices to like, 10x's, 100x's them. We go deep into developing your intuitive abilities, connecting with the angels and guides in a safe way, because the world is full of noise, and that makes it very difficult to trust your gut, to trust your instincts. And then, we look back and we regret the decisions we made. We beat ourselves up. We find ourselves in awkward and difficult and sometimes really bad situations because we didn't listen to our gut. So, Mastering Intuition program is about becoming very, very secure and confident in your gut instinct, trusting it, going with it, all the tools that support you with it. You're going into the chakras, the energy bodies, your environment, and the different ways to develop those gifts that you have. All right. So I will make sure that's in the comments below, the link to check that out. Doors close tonight at midnight Eastern. I'd love to have you be a part of this. I hope you have an incredible day, a happy full moon to you, and keep your eyes open for more goodies coming your way to celebrate full moon energy. All right. Mwah, lots of love. Bye, guys.